ahead. I probably just started off, but I'm going to let people know that you're coming on.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have to compete for position to the south end of the arena. As we rock America, please rise for the ladies of our national anthem. The president of the Voorhees University, Dr. Hopkins, and the athletic director, Charlie Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, we reminded that Federal release for his home facility in our COVID-19 protocol last year is approved. Our official organized meeting on section 5E8980. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Liberty Ball and Human Resources Center. This is your industry arena. Tonight, the Voorhees University Tigers take on the Buccaneers from the University of the Virgin Islands. We now introduce the starting lineup. First offense of the University of the Virgin Islands. Wearing number 0, Jaleel Winston. Wearing number 2, William Seaver. Wearing number 3, Joel Contreras. Wearing number 4, Peter Shaw Park. Wearing number 6, Nathan Powell. The Buccaneers are coached by Sam Taylor. And now, for Voorhees University Tigers. And one forward, from Chester, South Carolina, and one forward, from Dallas, Georgia, forward. And a center, from Dallas, Georgia,
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Tigers basketball right here on our Voorhees University Athletics website, YouTube page, and also on our Voorhees University Facebook Live. I'm Clarence Jones. I will be joined tonight by guest commentator, the women's head coach uh, Edward Glover, as he will be here momentarily. As right now he's floating around. He is also a game time manager when he's not coaching the Lady Tigers. And of course, tonight was supposed to be a doubleheader between the Virgin Islands and Voorhees, but unfortunately, we will only have the men's game, and that's why the men's game is being pushed up from the 8 o'clock tip off usual start time to the 6 o'clock tip off in the what would normally be the women's spot. And we'll let you know why we only have a single header. But it's good to be here. The Tigers are 12-11 overall. They had their 3-game win streak snap. Tripped up to Maryland. They in a loss to Washington Adventists, but still the Tigers are 3-1 in their last 4 games. Meanwhile, for the Buccaneers of the Virgin Islands, a struggling season as that score is good there by Langston. Langston is the leading scorer for the Buccaneers, averaging just over 17 points per game, and it's 2-0. Buccaneers on top of the Tigers. As I mentioned before, the Buccaneers come in right now struggling with a 2-14 record, as that basket is good by Hector Rosario. But the good news for the Buccaneers, they're coming off a win back a few days ago against Morris College. So they are looking for their second straight victory here in the state of South Carolina. But it's going to be a tall task against a very deep and talented Tiger basketball squad. The Buccaneers only dressed out 6 players here this evening, so they only have 1 in reserve as that ball goes out of bounds. And last touch by the Buccaneers. As right now joining me here in the broadcast table is the women's head coach Edward Glover. And Coach Glover, I was just telling the folks that those who was tuned in are looking forward to a doubleheader, but only a single header. And I wanted to let you have the floor and let the audience know why it's only a single header here this evening.
Well, we got an call, an email from the Virgin Islands Athletic Director saying that the women's team was unable to make it. They had some number of things going on. Actually, when I look back at their schedule, they hadn't played a game since December.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. And how does that affect as far as conference play goes?
Well, it takes away a conference game. I mean, just late in the game, you can't get it back. We will see how that affects, a lot of conferences kind of based on how many games you can play. A lot of conference opponents play more conference games because of where they're located.
Yeah.
I always say we're like Conference USA. We're spread out.
Right.
That's in the name, Continental Athletic Conference.
Right. As Isaiah Sellers puts it in for 2, it's 6-2. Tigers on top of the Buccaneers as we just played a couple of minutes into this first half here. The Tigers trying to get back on the winning track after a loss to Washington Adventists, as we'll have a foul here called against the Buccaneers. Excuse me, that was against the Tigers. Look like they'll go against Ford. 6-2 is our score, but
and the guys actually been 1-1 this weekend in conference play.
Right.
With Washington Adventists and playing Fisher again on a neutral site.
So let me ask you this: as far as with the women's go, since the Lady Buccaneers are, I would say, for lack of a better word, folded, does that say count as a forfeit and a win for y'all, or how that goes?
Commissioner and everyone is involved, so we looked at it on the schedule and they already put it as canceled.
Oh, just a cancel game. So okay.
And then this Buccaneer program is supposed to move from the Continental Athletic Conference. Speaking with the coach earlier, they're moving actually to the Gulf Coast Athletic Conference.
Okay, starting next year.
Yeah. And he was saying they're looking forward, possibility trying to be a whole site for that tournament, for that conference tournament. That'll be a nice change of venue.
Yes, and a nice
programs.
Yeah. And there's a good shot there by Ford, and now it's 8-3. The Tigers on top. So when you look at this Tiger team, they've played pretty well coming down the stretch here, 3-1 in their last 4 games, and it's very important to start playing well, especially around this time.
Yeah, definitely. You want to be a hot team going into the conference tournament.
That pass is deflected and saved by the Tigers. A good effort there. Hector Rosario. He's one of 4 Tigers averaging in double figures here for the Tigers as we come to the late stages of the regular season.
Good dump off.
Nice pass and a dunk. Amari Joseph with his deuce, and it's 10-3. The Tigers on top. And a quick timeout taken by the Buccaneers. And this Buccaneer squad, although on the roster they have 7 players, but they only dressed out 6 here for this evening. So this is going to be a tough stretch here for the Buccaneers compared to the Tigers. And the Tigers have a deep bench, a deep team. And not only that, just size-wise, the Tigers also can take advantage of this Buccaneers squad as well.
Yeah, and the Buccaneers are coming off of a conference win on this past Saturday at Marsh College.
And then not only that, only 2 wins on the season, but as you mentioned, Coach, that Morris game just a couple of days ago, so they do feel good about themselves going into this ball game and trying to pull off the upset. But seriously speaking, the Buccaneers, as I mentioned, it's going to be a tall task for them to try to come with it. They'll have to play their best game. They probably even have to play a better game than what they did against Morris back on Saturday. As the Buccaneers take control of it, down 10-3 as we played 4 minutes into this first half. Once again, thank you everybody for tuning in. And also we, as always, welcome your comments on to our YouTube page and also Facebook Live. Let us know where you're watching the game from as well. As a foul was called against the Tigers, so that's the second team foul. 10-3 as a 3-pointer on the way, and that falls down for O'Garo. So that's his first bucket, and it's 10-6. Voorhees on top by 4. Here's Ford in the lane. The bounce is not there. A rebound goes into the hands of Shaw Clark as he pushes it up the court. Here's Steger along the baseline, picks up his dribble, passes back out, and that's a traveling violation called on Shaw Clark. 15 minutes and 16 seconds to go for those of you just joining us here. 10-6 is our score. As yes, this is the men's game instead of the women's game. For those of you who are joining us and expecting a doubleheader, it's only the men's game here this evening. As that's a foul there across the lane, as Hector Rosario was hacked. Joe Contreras is called for the foul. That's his first, and the very first team foul for the Buccaneers. So Hector Rosario will be at the line shooting 2. Hector Rosario has really turned it around here this year. Of course, coming off of what happened last year, but this year Hector Rosario has really turned it around for the Tigers.
Yeah, he's proven his leadership. Stepping into that role at the point guard position.
12-6 is our score as the Tigers are up. As we played 5 minutes into this first half, Buccaneers are down 12-6. Loses the ball in the lane, and it goes out of bounds, and it will be Tigers basketball. Clarence Jones along with the women's head coach, Edward Glover here, our guest commentator this evening.
What we're going to need to do here is wear them down. With 6 players, that's one thing you have to do. Wear them down. It may not happen instantly, but over time, it's going to happen. Get a couple of runs. Maybe try to put this one away.
Mm-hmm.
But, Virgin Islands they're going to play hard and scrappy. They're not going to give up.
No, they're not going to give up. And as evident as Saturday night, defeating Morris. Out of the corner for 3 is no good. Ford comes away with the rebound.
And for them to pull that off, they're going to need those to fall. It's going to need some good things to happen on their side. But hopefully that does not happen.
Yeah. as the Tigers try to get back on the winning side. Here's Rosario. Fall away shot is no good. There's the rebound deal for Langston. Back up the court. Here come the Buccaneers. Shaw Clark. Bounce pass over to Steger. Special hello to everybody tuning in on YouTube and also Facebook Live. Good evening, Deb Davis, watching us from Orlando, Florida, as well as Spells. Good hands right there as a steal. Sellers coming in with the steal. And the other way, Jordan Blue.
See, now we're picking up the press, so that's going to wear them down as well.
Also, special hello to Ellen Dale, watching us from Somerville, South Carolina. And also the DMV is in the building here tonight as well, watching us. Thank you so very much for tuning in. It is 14-6 for those of you just joined us now. 14-8 is our score with the deuce for Shaw Clark. So it's 14-8 is our score. Voorhees on top as we coming up on the 12.5-minute mark left in the first half. Here's Steger. You know, I want to get your thoughts about, should the men's game finally go to a 4-quarter, 10 minutes apiece? Because it seems like the first half and second half is starting to come more out of date as the years go by.
Yeah. Well, everybody's on the 4-quarter period.
Okay.
Every level. And that's why the women went to kind of make the game more uniform across the board, especially with the college game transitioning to the WNBA as well as overseas and the Olympics.
Right.
You know, one thing I'm glad they went away was that trapezoid lane that they had in international play.
Yeah.
You know, they came and brought the American way.
I'm glad they looked at it things our way. And that shot is good as the shot for Sellers. So Isaiah Sellers getting the start here this evening as he has 4 points, and it's a 6-point lead for the Tigers at 16-10. As we're coming up on 11.5 minutes remaining here in the first half. Thank you so very much for joining us here this evening, as we just have one game here. In delaying the shot, high off the glass and good there for Nathan Shaw Clark. So that's Clark's second bucket. He has 4 points and is down to a 4-point Voorhees lead at 16-12. Here's Blue. And puts it inside. Rosario with the body. Turn around. Sellers comes up. Under 10 seconds left. Only 5 seconds on the shot clock, and we'll have a foul called. So the foul will be against Contreras. So that is Contreras' second and team second. Oh, they're watching us actually watching us from Orlando, Florida, by way of Kentucky.
Well, Virgin Islands got almost for 9 minutes, only 2 fouls. So that's a good thing on their part.
Malachi Johnson checks in for the first time. Malachi with the advantage and takes advantage of it.
Have to take care of that height advantage we have.
So Malachi with his first 2 points, and it is an 18-12 Voorhees lead. So here are Voorhees, just a game above 500, trying to get 2 games above 500. Tyler Willoughby also checked in. When Malachi checked in, also Tyler Willoughby, the leading scorer for the Tigers, checked in, as we'll have a foul called, and that looked like they'll go against Malachi. So Malachi picks up his first personal and the third team foul called against the Tigers. So Shaw Clark will be at the line shooting 2, as the first one is short. And when you look at this Virgin Island team, yes, they only dressed out 5, so some major minutes is going to come from the starters. But then you also have to be aware of the foul count as well, because you don't have a bench.
I see their coaches, he's rotating. He has another one out.
So
And I don't know how many games he's done this. He probably got a system down.
New into the ball game for the Buccaneers is number 10, Nathan Carroll, the guard, 6'3" guard out of Rhode Island. Here's Malachi, short in the lane. 18-12 is our score. For those of you who just joined us, special shout out to Mama Wyndham watching us as we have a foul called. So the foul will be called on Bryce Wilson. That is his first and team's fourth. 9 minutes and 41 seconds to go here in the first half. It is 18-12 is our score. Tigers up over the Buccaneers from the U.S. Virgin Islands. Slow arriving crowd getting here, but they will be here in force at some point as that ball is air ball, and it'll go to the Tigers.
6:20, the lady dwindling over from the calf. Gotta get that dinner in.
Right. And I was just wondering that, since I thought they would have probably pushed this tip off back to 7 o'clock to give the students an opportunity to go ahead and eat. Guess not. That's Malachi short.
Yeah, when we got the word from Coach Huff, 6 o'clock was it. We had to make some adjustments. The main thing was to see what time the officials would be able to make an adjustment. There's also an adjustment on their part.
Yeah.
As well, because a lot of those guys work other jobs.
Here's the shot from the corner. It's no good for Langston. He gets his own rebound, puts it back up, and we'll have a jump ball situation. And the Buccaneers will retain with the possession. 18-12 is our score. 8 minutes and 44 seconds to go here in the first half. Tigers 3-1 in their last 4 ball games. Here's Shaw Clark with the nice spin and the deuce. So Shaw Clark now with his third field goal. He has 6 points and is down to a 4-point Tiger lead at 18-14. Under 8.5 minutes remaining here in the first half. Here's Willoughby for 3.
Get it up.
No good.
I needed that rebound.
And one thing as well, as we have a timeout. So since we have a timeout, we'll keep it right here. As for the Tigers, when you look at a squad like the Buccaneers and you warming up and you seeing that they're kind of undersized and undermanned and everything, psychiatry thinking, you would say, hey, we got this in the bag. But how as a coach you can say, hey, you can't just wrap it up.
And as a player, I played. These guys probably played a lot more basketball in their high school. The AAU circuit is so big now. So they probably have seen this out there. And I know they've been told throughout their careers that do not underestimate anybody. So what the coaching staff for Voorhees has to do is to reemphasize that. Never underestimate anybody. I don't care who they are, how they look, because you can watch film and all that other good stuff, but you know how well they mesh together and how long these guys have been going together. And even though they're 2-14, sometimes you can look at scores and say, hey, how close are they?
Right.
In ball games.
Mm-hmm. And to the Buccaneers' credit, some of their games have been close, but then there's other games where it hasn't been so close, especially as of late. They lost at Fort Lauderdale 101-71, and another game against Thomas, they lost 89-47. So there have been some games where I guess fatigue played a factor because of the number.
Also have to look at them. They play a lot of back-to-backs.
Yeah.
Because they're traveling. And I know some teams will play them back-to-back at the same venue. They have an issue with getting home games because everybody just can't go over to the Virgin Islands.
Yeah. as the foul was called against the Tigers. Bryce Wilson, that was his second foul. And then at the line shooting 2 is Shaw Clark. As right now, Clark is the leading scorer for the Buccaneers as he has 7 points on the evening and is down to a 2-point lead. So just as we mentioned, you say, yeah, you can't play down to them, and you look up at the score, and right now it's a 2-point game, 18-16. 7 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the first half. And that shot turnover. Here come the Buccaneers. Buccaneers back the other way. Shot up, no good. Rebound put back, and it is good there for O'Garrow. So we're tied at 18 with 7 minutes and 20 seconds to go. So this Buccaneer squad coming off a victory. Remember that. They came off a victory, so they're feeling good about themselves. Ford with a 3 is no good. Back the other way. Numbers for the Buccaneers. Oh, a block by the Ford, but still controlling it are the Buccaneers. Here's a 3-pointer on the way, and that is short. And the rebound comes to the hands of Derante Foster, who checked into the ball game, number 12 for the Tigers. Under 7 minutes to go, tied at 18 apiece. Ford for 3, no good. Good positioning for the rebound for Shaw Clark. And shot, and we'll have a foul against Ford. So right now, this Buccaneers squad, even though they're undersized and undermanned, but they're really playing aggressive ball right here. As Christian Ford picks up his second and the team's 6th foul. So at the line will be shooting Jaleel Langston. Langston, as I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, he's the leading scorer for the Virgin Islands, averaging 17 points a game. Matter of fact, he's about 0.1 points short of averaging 18 points per game. And
within the 5-minute mark, we're going to see the fatigue kicks in.
Right now, the Buccaneers are up for the first time here this evening. 20-18 and a steal. Back the other way, and the lay-in is good. And right now, the Buccaneers are feeling good about themselves. Shaw Clark with another deuce. Shaw Clark already with 10 points, and it's 22-18. Here's Ford, and that's a foul called against the Buccaneers. So Sirmoy O'Garrow will pick up the foul. Excuse me, Elijah Stevens, who's wearing 23 instead of 21.
And we're like the cardiac kids.
That 3-pointer is good.
I don't know if you remember back in the days when he called the Cleveland Browns the cardiac kids. 1 year they kept coming back.
Yeah.
We're like that. You know, our last few games down the stretch, we've been down. And I was watching the Washington Wizards game, and we got down and made a comeback. Then all of a sudden, the live stream went away. Mm-hmm. Ended up losing that game, but we made a comeback. The game against Fisher was a comeback.
Yeah. That shot is no good, and the rebound knocked around and picked up and put in off glass there by Langston. Langston now with 6 points, and it's a 3-point game. The Buccaneers on top 24-21. Willoughby can't hit. 5:15 to go. Tigers are down 24-21 as we're coming up on 5 minutes remaining here in the first half.
Yeah, we're going to need to go to the basket. Pound this ball inside, dribble drive to the basket.
And with the size advantage, you would think we would try to go in this inside a little more. Oh, taking them into the hoop. And Shaw Clark.
What does he average?
Well, Shaw Clark averages 21 and a half points as Wyndham lines up for 3, as he's also the one of the leading scorers for the Buccaneers besides Langston. As Shaw Clark, 21 and a half points per game.
So they got some players who actually put the ball in the basket.
Oh, yeah. Stevens can't hit. Foster comes away with the rebound. As we're coming up on 4 minutes to play, 26-21 is our score. Buccaneers on top.
Go to the basket. There we go.
And draw the foul. And the foul.
Go to the line.
Seemed like Stevens will pick up the foul. So Christian Ford will be at the line shooting. Mari Joseph comes back in, and Jordan Blue checks back in. Willoughby and Foster will check out. 26-22. Ford hits two.
Pick up a little pressure, a little football pressure.
It's down to a 3-point Buccaneer lead at 26-23. 4 minutes remaining here in the first half. Shaw Clark along the baseline. Gives it up. Ball knocked around. Here's Langston from the free throw line. It's no good. Another opportunity for the Buccaneers as they're flying around to that ball.
Coming to the flying Buccaneers.
As we have a foul call away from the ball. Carroll is called.
Legal screen.
Nathan Carroll is called for his first personal. 3.5 minutes and counting left to go in this first half. It's 26-23. Tigers down by 3. Wyndham thought about a 3 and gives it up. Here's Blue off glass, and we'll have a foul called against the Buccaneers.
See, we're going to the basket and we're picking up those fouls. That's what we got to continue to do throughout the game, inside.
And it appears, I think it was on Carroll. Here's a 3-point shot, and that is no good there for Keyshawn Fleecian. Coming up on 3 minutes remaining here in the first half. Buccaneers are down. Buccaneers are up by 3, 26-23. And that from the right baseline is good for Langston. So Langston and Shaw Clark are the 2 players that we have to really keep an eye out on. And right now they are playing really good. Here's Ford. Cannot hit. Carroll comes away with the rebound. Opportunity and a block there for Joseph. Ford comes away with the ball. On is stolen. No good. The rebound and put back in is good.
Flashbacks of Lynn Bias against North Carolina back in the 80s. I don't know if you remember that one.
Oh, yeah.
Man, but Lynn did a thunderous dunk.
Yes. And Lynn, boy, that was talented right there. That could have been something there.
That would have changed the course of history.
Yeah.
As the NBA was concerned.
And that probably would have extended the Celtics dynasty into the 90s.
Yeah. He was coming in that time when Bird and Oak was getting into their latter years.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's about one of the only players I've seen that could handle a Michael Jordan Tar Heel team.
And think about this. If Len Bias would have been alive and would have had a full career, it could have been a lot of Celtics Bulls Eastern Conference Finals in the 90s because Len Bias, I think he was the equal to Jordan, to be honest with you.
And he had the toughness to stand up to the Pistons.
Yeah.
What's that comic book Marvel has? What If?
What If? Yes. As Langston hit.
And Clarence, we here got a little off track, but this is a 9-point Buccaneer lead.
32-23 with under 2 minutes to go. Fleecian for 3. No good. And this up.
We're the cardiac kids.
Yep.
I'm going to tell the fans that they don't worry. We're coming back. The last game's at home.
Right.
Come back.
Oh, yeah. But right now, the Buccaneers is doing some damage on the boards right now. That's surprising here. Almost a strip there. Cross court pass. 3 seconds left on the shot clock from the corner for three, and it's good.
A big shot, and a team like the Buccaneers with 6 players, a lot of things got to go their way for them to pull this off. But I think they're gonna run out.
O'Gara, and it's the largest lead of the game at 12 points, 35-23, and it's good.
We're gonna need that height. We're gonna need that. We're gonna need that height on the boards.
As Amari Joseph with the deuce, and it's a 10-point deficit, but a surprising lead here for the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers coming in on the season only 2-14, but their 2 wins came in recent weeks. And matter of fact, their second win came as recent as on Saturday against Morris. Traveling violation is called. So the Tigers will have possession with 25 seconds left on the game clock. So the shot clock should be turned off. And it is. Surprising score for those of you just joining us. It's a 10-point Tiger deficit at 35-25. Here's Blue. Picks up his dribble. And a steal. Good hands there by Shaw Clark with only 5 seconds to go. And a block the other way. Sellers on with the block. But once again, the quickness, the quick hands of Shaw Clark stepping up here for the Buccaneers. Shaw Clark is a 6'3" junior out of Florida. With 3 seconds left on the shot clock, here's the shot, and it's good for Langston, and that will do it for the first half. And a surprising score, Tiger fans. Buccaneers head into the locker room up 37-25. And once again, the Buccaneers, I must stress this, they only dressed out 6 players this evening, but it seems like the 2 players that are doing the most damage is Nathan Shaw Clark and Jaleel Langston, the 2 leading scorers for the Buccaneers, and they are showing why they're the leading scorers for the Buccaneers.
Well, fans, when you come to a basketball game, you can throw that. The 6 players, let's throw that out. Let's throw that out right now.
Yeah.
They did a good job as far as UVA with maintaining staying out of foul trouble. A lot of things are going right their way right now. They're hustling. We need to wear them down.
Need to wear them down, and not only that, with our big men, back there, Malachi and Amari Joseph, and also Foster. I think in the second half, it's time to really feed down to the big men to see if they can do something.
We have to make some adjustments. Maybe play 2 of the bigs at the same time. Because we're gonna have to wind the Pounders team and wear them out. Because if they can play at a high level and get some excitement, they're going to get that feel they can win this game and pull it off. 20 minutes to go.
Yeah, 20 minutes to go. It's not.
We have to make some adjustments and get back to what we do.
Right. As Casey Johnson, as the comment, they are outplaying us with heart, and definitely the Buccaneers are playing with heart here this evening. As right now, the Buccaneers are up 37-25 as they have. Exchanging some gifts there in midcourt. So we'll see what will be their second half adjustments here in the second half for the Tigers. Right now, 37-25 is our score. Buccaneers on top of the Tigers. We will take this break and we'll get you set for the second half. You're watching Tiger Basketball on our YouTube page and Facebook Live as you see a live shot of the 10th president. Dr. Ronnie Hopkins is down there with Charlene Johnson, as well as Miss Mary Hill for the Valentine's Day gifts.
And Miss Johnson, who we all know does double duties as also the athletic director.
Right.
But Dean Mary Hill's also double duty with senior women administrator.
Uh,
intro part of the athletic department.
well, as a small school's this size and with the staff size, sometimes you got to play a double role. And I was just letting people
You
know
know
that
why you have to.
you have
You
to.
know?
I was just letting people know not only that you coach, but you're also like a game time manager here. So you
Yeah,
got
to
to
get
make sure
everything set up
everything is
here.
good.
I was looking just now to make sure these locker rooms were
Right, right. All right, coach. So we'll talk to you in the second half. Once again, our halftime score: the Buccaneers are up 37-25. You are watching Tiger basketball on YouTube and on Facebook Live. Hello, everybody, and welcome on back here as we get ready to start the second half. The Tigers, surprisingly, are down by 12 at 37-25. I'm Clarence Jones. And looking at the first half, the Buccaneers came out and, athletically speaking, they got to the ball a little quicker, even though the Tigers outnumbered them and also outsized them. But the Buccaneers, they have gone quick to the basket, and particularly two of the Buccaneers, the two leading scorers for the Buccaneers, Jaleel Langston, right now with 12 points, and Shaw Clark with 14 points, leading the Buccaneers in scoring. But not only that, even though the Buccaneers dressed out six players this evening, but all six players are contributing to the Buccaneers, thus leading at halftime here as we get ready to start the second half, 37 to 25. My special guest analyst, Coach Edward Glover for the Lady Tigers, as he mentioned that in the second half, the Tigers must now control the boards, and not only that, use their size advantage as well. And if you want to use their size advantage, Malachi Johnson, Amari Joseph, and also Rontae Foster will play a big role in trying to control the boards here in the second half. Meanwhile, as far as points, Tyler Willoughby coming off the bench, of course, Hector Rosario and Jordan Blue, they need to show out here in the second half. And we see Terrell Wyndham lighting it up from outside, which we know he can do. But for the Tigers, they really need to try to get back on the winning track. Of course, they had a three-game winning streak snapped in their last ball game up there in Maryland against Washington Adventists. So this is a good time to try to get back on the winning track as we wind down the regular season. As they only have one home game left, and that's this Saturday on Senior Day. But coming into this matchup, I think a lot of people saw on paper that the Tigers, uh, on paper, should defeat the Buccaneers. But right now, on paper, it's different of what's going out there on the court. So you have to give it up to the Buccaneers. All right, stay right there. We have the second half coming up for you. The Tigers are down 37-25. Can they come back here against the Buccaneers, or will the Buccaneers shock one here this evening? We'll have more coming up. You're watching Tiger Basketball on YouTube and on Facebook Live. All right, as we get ready to start this second half, as I'm rejoined here by the women's head coach for the Lady Tigers, Edward Glover. And as I mentioned during the setup for the second half, that as you mentioned, what the Tigers need to do, they need to start their size as an advantage.
Yeah, we got to wear this team down. We got to wear them down. Get them in foul trouble. Make them utilize, the short bench.
As we
Just take
as we start the
there we
second
go. Coming
half,
to the
that is
hole.
Ford, no good, and skying for the rebound is Shaw Clark.
Gotta make those. But we're going to. That's eventually going to open up.
As we start the second half, once again, I'd like to say thank you for everybody for tuning in right here on our YouTube page and on Facebook Live. And that shot is in and out there for Carroll.
That was a blessing that it ended out.
Yeah, because it
That
was
would've
about
been
halfway
huge.
down. Yeah. So instead, Tigers trying to chop in on
Good
this
shot.
good start there. Isaiah
Another thing,
Sellers.
got to pick up this defensive pressure, which we were trying to establish some in the first half. That's where we go.
Turnover.
There we go.
So I'm pretty sure Coach Huff and the coaching staff kind of talked to his team and said, hey, we have to show out here in the second half.
And he probably emphasized it too.
As we played about a minute into the second half, 37-27 is our score. The Tigers are down. Here's Jordan Blue with the basketball. Give it up.
And there's no need to panic. Take what they give us.
Sellers. In the paint. Gives it back out. 2 seconds left on the shot clock.
Great shot.
Oh, in and out there for Rosario. Score still 37-27. Buccaneers on top. And yes, that's a foul underneath. Which we'll pull it on. Sellers. That's his first. And first of the second half. Shooting 2 is Jaleel Langston. Langston, as I mentioned, has 12 points in the first half. Shaw Clark had 14 points. So Langston and Shaw Clark showing why they're averaging 21.5 and 17 points per game, respectively. That second shot is off. Yeah, because everybody else, well, outside of 8 points, everybody else either 2 points or 1 point. 38-27 is our score. That shot is good. There for Blue. It's 38-29.
See, we're making them play 94 feet now. Yeah,
and good defense. Here come the Tigers now. Blue. Blue gets the screen. Blue in the lane. Shot is good. Jordan Blue now with 6 points, and it's down to a 7-point Buccaneer lead. 38-31 is our score. 17.5 minutes to go here in the second half. There's a chant of defense from the Tiger bench. Under 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Here's Shaw Clark. That shot's no good. Rebound.
See, those shots were falling from in the first half.
Right now, here come the Tigers. Rosario can't hit. Joseph. Ball free on the floor. Here's Ford. Ford. Shot no good. And a grab there by Shaw Clark. 38-31. Still our score here. 16 minutes and 38 seconds to go here in the second half. Here's Steger, and that one, a good defense there by Joseph.
That always helps have a big man in the middle.
Joel Contreras comes back in, the 5'10" freshman out of Pennsylvania. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. I don't know if they notice it yet. 3 seconds left. That'll put it. Oh, and it's good. There by Contreras. The second field goal evening, and it's a 10-point Buccaneer lead. 41-31. As we played about 4 minutes into the second half. It's the shot. Good for Ford. Ball knocked around, picked up by the Buccaneers. Buccaneers on the red. Shaw Clark. Clark, no good. Ball loose, picked up by the Buccaneers. 3-pointer on the way. It is rattles home there for William Steger. And they are really scrappy. As only 2 wins on the season, but one of those wins came a couple of nights ago, so they are feeling good about themselves coming in here tonight against a formidable opponent in Voorhees. Timeout taken.
They've been helped. I mean, I don't know what they say 7. Well, when they start out with 7 the whole year.
Yeah, but they only dressed out 6 tonight. So when you look at this Virgin Islands ball club, and numbers, and they're undersized, but they're big on heart.
Looks like they start out the season with 10 players. What I found here from the statistics. They lost a couple of guys after the first 2 games. And they lost another player midway through. Looks like 2 players midway through.
Right now with
50, probably was got around 6 players. Was that just 4 players? Yeah.
Yeah. Coming out the timeout, Tigers have the ball down 44-31. Here's Sellers in the lane. Puts up the shot. Oh, miss.
We're getting there. We just got to put the ball in.
44-31. Buccaneers on top. It's their largest lead of the ball game, up by 13. Tigers trying to get some turnovers here going on. 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Pull-up shot for 3. No good. Trying to draw the foul. But the Buccaneers, once again, coming away with the rebound. Steger. And Steger jumped in between 2 Tigers players to get that rebound.
He's the smallest.
Yeah, he is the smallest player. So small, they don't even have him listed as far as height. Sellers picks up his second foul. Willoughby checks back in and out.
Now we're going small here with this lineup.
Right now in the comment section, a lot of people talking about boxing out and rebound. And yes, Casey Johnson, the smallest player, is rebounding.
But former Lady Tiger Casey Johnson.
Here. 5 is left on the shot clock. And the ball kicked around, and that'll be a shot clock violation.
And I'm reading Casey's comments. If I'm sure that's Casey Johnson. If that's Casey Johnson used to play for me, play here at the Voorhees, send me a text message. I mean, she's actually their coach.
Right.
That can't be Casey. That can't be Casey.
No, it's Malachi's father.
Okay. Now that's a lot of basketball there.
Yes, it is. That shot is short there by 4.
Malachi's first cousin, Antonio Robinson, played for us here for the Lady Tigers some years ago. Okay. Very solid player. Player. Oh, one of the best point guards I ever had come through. And Lady 2 as well. Good score.
As we have a whistle and the ball goes out of bounds. Looked like the player stepped out. Contreras.
If the referee's foot was out of bounds, out of bounds. But if his foot was in bounds, it's still their ball. And they changed the call.
They changed the call now.
Yeah. The official is a part of the game.
Right.
We had that happen in the tournament. I can actually go back to the tournament. It was the 2004 tournament. In Fayetteville, North Carolina. Playing in the semifinals to go to the championship game. And I remember a long pass bounced off the official.
Only 5 seconds left on the shot clock.
And the player kept going, and she did the right thing.
And that shot was good there by Shaw Clark. He's inching up towards an average of 21 points per game. Has 16 points on the evening, and it's 46-31. Buccaneers on top. High off the glass is no good, and right now the Tigers, the shot's not falling for the Tigers right now. 13 minutes remaining here in the ball game. It is 46-31, and
10-second call.
10-second call.
The Buccaneers are trying to slow it down, but they slow it down a little too much that time. We don't need to panic. We go inside, pound this thing, get these guys in foul trouble. As you can see, I guess UBI does not have any fouls.
Right. Not yet in the second half. And we played nearly 8 minutes into this second half. Here's Julius Phillips.
And this is Julius' first time in the game.
Yep. The shot taken. That is up and no good as we have a whistle. And it goes the other way. Foul called against Hector Rosario. That's his second. Team's third.
Five-second call. Get that 5-second call. Yeah.
And that's 5-second call. 5-second violation called against the Buccaneers. And right now, it's still a 46-31 game. Buccaneers on top.
And Coach Huff has responded with 3 fresh legs in the game.
Willoughby.
All the way.
To the basket. No good. And so we have a foul call. As right now, things are getting live in the comment section. And yes, you have some disappointed Tiger fans right now expressing their displeasure of what's going on right now. But right now, we still have a lot of time left, 12:28 remaining, as Willoughby hits the first and he misses the second.
And I'm telling you, we're the cardiac kids. We're coming back. We know this. We're coming back.
Right now, they have a deficit to try to get out. It's 46-32. Tigers are down. The shot in the lane, no good. Ball knocked around. Let's see if the Tigers will start coming alive here in the second half.
Good slip screen.
Shot in the lane is good there for Jordan Blue.
Close to that basket. Apply that pressure defense. And when you can pressure, you're never out of that game as well. 5 seconds.
Almost there. It's a 12-point Buccaneer advantage at 46-34 as we're coming up on 11 and a half minutes to go here in the second half. Clarence Jones along with the Lady Tigers basketball coach, Edward Glover, as we are bringing you Tiger basketball action as we have a foul called against Phillips. And that will be Phillips' first. And the team's fourth.
I see Coach Huff is really going deep to the bench tonight.
And mind you now, the Virgin Islands, they only have one reserve person on the bench.
And it's a good strategy here to wear them down. Bring some of these young guys off.
It's Shaw Clark. With 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Clark cannot hit.
Gordy almost threw that foul.
Coming back the other way.
All the way.
The shot up and good.
See, now
Wilson.
If you score, you can press.
Bryce Wilson.
Get the trap.
Trap. They get across the timeline just in time. 10-point deficit for the Tigers, down 46-36 as we're coming up on 10 and a half minutes to go.
Force the Virgin Islands to some mistakes.
Under 10 seconds left on the shot clock. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Ball knocked up in the air. 2 seconds, 1 second.
Short.
That's short. And that is a shot clock violation.
I'm glad he tapped the top of his head. I thought he might have called foul over there.
No.
The whistle came from over in that area.
Hey, you're right. For those of you just joining us here, it's 46-36. Buccaneers call a timeout. It's been a slow start for the Tigers as they had looks at the basket. It just wasn't falling down. But right now, the Tigers sense, since with 10 minutes and 18 seconds to go, that they need to get on the run here and really start using their size and numbers advantage.
And you're going to have nights where sometimes it feel like the lid is on the basket, but tremendous defense. And what they're doing right now is that pressure defense. That's going to help them get back into this 10-point game with a little more than 10 minutes to go. They're right there. They're here. No need to panic. Yeah. Like I said, with the Claudette kids, they're coming back on the field.
But while we have this timeout, we just want to let you know our next broadcast will be Senior Day coming up on Saturday. I know, Coach, you don't want to look ahead because you have a game coming up this week as well. You want to discuss about that?
We'll be in Columbia at Allen University. The team that we saw early in the year when we lost by 4 points. Hopefully we'll be on the advantage side of that when we get the rematch up there in Columbia.
And, of course, coming up on Saturday will be Senior Day. We'll have a doubleheader for you as we get started at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and for the women, and then for the men, 4 o'clock. So make sure that you join us here. That'll be our next ball game. Matter of fact, that'll be our last doubleheader and our last ball games broadcasting here on the Tiger Sports Network. Here's Julius Phillips counting in one.
Take it slow, methodical. We're back in this.
So
inside.
Julius will go to the line. So Phillips try to bring some life. That one is way short.
Needed that.
46-38 is our score. Buccaneers up by 8, but the Tigers trying to battle back. And that is a backcourt violation. So the defense starting to pick up here for the Tigers. So right now the Tigers trying to inch their way back into this ball game, down by 8. 46-38 with 9 minutes and 45 seconds remaining here in the second half. Mincy is into the ball game. Second time he's been in there. Out of the corner for 3. Big one here. That's good for Tyler Willoughby.
And this allows you to press.
It is down to a 5-point Buccaneer lead at 46-41 as they break the press. Here's a quick shot. No good. That falls short there for Steger. See if the Tigers could get back. Willoughby thought about it. Phillips will take it. Got it! Julius Phillips brings the house down. A 2-point game, 46-44. Some press in the backcourt. 46-44. Tigers coming back into the ball game. Coming up on 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Here's Shaw Clark, who had the big first half. 4 seconds. 3 seconds left on the shot clock. Clark puts it up. Puts it in. Big bucket there for Nathan Shaw Clark. And it's a 4-point Buccaneer lead at 48-44. Mincy gives it off. Wide open. 3-pointer. No good. Oh, that could have been a foul. And the foul by Wilson is no good. Ball goes out of bounds. Now, I was wondering, falling out of bounds was Floyd. I thought they probably would have called a foul there, but the refs, I think, did not pick up on it. And there's a foul. That's Floyd. So Amari Floyd picks up his first personal. Team's 5th.
Still got no foul to give, but it still allows us to pick them up full court.
48-44 for those of you just joining us here. This is the men's game. Shaw Clark gives it up. Down low. Turnaround shot is in and out there for Langston. Coming up on 7.5, and the ball lost.
Oh, good
and
job. Good
right
job.
back the
Needed
other
that.
way.
Pull it.
Mincy for
Pull it.
three.
The house will come down.
Got it!
The house
Mincy!
will come down. That's a freshman. Good job.
The freshman. And we'll have a whistle on a foul call. But yes, as you mentioned it, Coach, the freshman, Justin Mincy. A big bucket there. And it's down to a 1-point game.
Still plenty of time.
48-47. Tigers at one point were down by 13 points. Buccaneers are a very scrappy ball club, still holding a 1-point lead. Steger puts it up.
Oh,
Nope. Offensive foul is the call. We're down to 7 minutes to go. Here's Mincy. Gives it up to Phillips. Tigers can take the lead on this trip here. Three-pointer, no good.
And that's what you have to do when you're coming back. You got to take that lead or tie that score up.
Coming up on 6.5 minutes to go. 48-47, Buccaneers on top of the Tigers, but the Tigers are battling back here. Under 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Here's Clark, gives it up. Offensive foul called on Shaw Clark. That's the second offensive foul called against the Buccaneers in many trips.
And we're playing tremendous defense. These fresh legs, Coach Claudia Lyles got back in this one.
Shaw Clark picks up his first personal, and that is the fourth team foul called against the Virgin Islands. Here's Mincy. Wilson. Rice all the way. Got it. What a play. Wilson. And the Tigers are on top. And it's 49-48. The first lead for the Tigers.
All right, going to the line with this one.
Phillips picks up the foul. That is the 7th team foul called against the Tigers. So at the line shooting will be Joel Contreras. Contreras so far with 5 points on the evening. Buccaneers find themselves down by 1, 49-48. 5:38 to go. Tie the game. Contreras will try to take the lead on this shot. Second shot is good. So the Buccaneers back up by 1, 50-49 as we head down the stretch here in the second half. 5.5 minutes remaining. Mincy, cross-court pass forward, gives it up. Deep three-pointer, no good. Ford runs down the rebound. Give it up.
Get in there.
Wilson can't hit. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Willoughby. So 50-49, 5 minutes and 13 seconds to go here in the ball game. Mincy getting a hand from his teammates. The freshman came in and really lit a spark here for the Tigers in the second half.
Trap.
There's a trap in the corner, and a steal by Ford. Ford puts it in. Tigers back up by 1, 51-50.
I got an outlet here.
The outlet. Oh, what a block! Get that shot out of there! Sellers with the block. Ford act the other way. No. Here come the Buccaneers down by 1, 51-50. And they slow it up. Three-pointer on the way. No good. Rosario on with the board. Wilson inside. Ford with the size. Counted and one. Christian Ford. As Ford showing out here in the second half.
Cardiac kids.
Yeah, you mentioned that, Cardiac Kids. It is 53-50. The Tigers were down, and now they are very much alive here. Up by 3, and Ford.
And some games it's just a matter of time. I know fans, we want to get in here and get them over quick, but some games it's just to wear down, and it's a matter of time getting back into it.
It's a 4-point lead for the Tigers at 54-50, 4:15 remaining here in the second half. And the defense has come alive here for the Tigers.
Now we just got to close this out.
And we have a whistle.
I think something happened to the shot clock.
Yeah, 3 seconds left on the shot clock, but on the other side it says 13 seconds left. So definitely something they have to fix on the shot clock. But as you mentioned, Coach, this Tiger team battling back and now showing, I guess, their size and numbers. So apparently the shot clock on the Buccaneers end is messed up. Yeah. So I guess the referees will keep a count of what's going on.
Sometimes these things will correct itself.
So I think on the other side, I think that's the correct shot clock with 13 seconds left.
It's not going to go off. Okay, I see.
Here's Shaw Clark just inside the free throw line. Is good. Tough shot there for Nathan Shaw Clark.
Yeah, something's with the digits.
It is
it somewhere.
A 2-point Tiger lead at 54-52. Oh, did not see the ball, and it's stolen by Shaw Clark. Bounce pass up top it goes, and the lay-in is good for Langston. And the Buccaneers had tied it at 54 apiece. Under 3.5 minutes to go. Nope. They'll call offensive foul. Hector Rosario is called for the foul. That is his third. Team's 8th. We're tied at 54.
I'm looking at this Buccaneers roster. Some transfers, junior college transfers, D1 transfers.
But right now, the Buccaneers.
Maybe only 2 players out of high school.
Yep. Buccaneers showing some heart as losing the ball was Steger, and it will be Tigers basketball. Tied at 54 apiece, 2 minutes and 45 seconds to go here in the second half. Here's Sellers. Sellers backs in down low, puts it up, no good. Rebound. Ball still free. Ford hits it off of a Buccaneer, so good hustle there for Christian Ford. But now you only have 7 seconds left on the shot clock to do something. So a quick timeout here taken by the Tigers with 2 minutes and 29 seconds to go here in this ball game. Tied at 54 apiece. Okay, Coach, it's time to play the role of a coach. I know you play, you play coach. Different scenario.
There's a lot of different scenarios.
You're right.
With coaching.
Right. So right now, what you going to tell the Tiger team as far as these last 2.5 minutes here?
Well, what coach is probably doing is setting up something with 7 seconds. Well, they actually reset it to 20. They they need to get what they want on this possession inside. They got to go inside. The threes haven't been there sporadic during this game. We need to go inside. I mean, if it's a good look from the three, yeah, but we got the time to ball in. And still play that pressure defense. You cannot turn the defense off right now. And I don't see Coach Huff doing that.
Tigers will throw it in. Here's Ford. Sellers. Now it's down to 10 seconds left on the shot clock.
Take it to the basket.
Here's the shot up, and that's no good. Shaw Clark comes away with the rebound. A little trap in the backcourt. So now they want to slow it down. It's actually 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Shaw Clark. Ball is stolen. Here comes Ford. Ford takes it and is blocked. The rebound putback is no good. We're still tied at 54 apiece, ladies and gentlemen. And we're coming up on a minute and a half remaining, and we'll have a timeout taken by the Buccaneers.
For some reason, Clarence, this game has gone by pretty quickly. we had a minute 30.
Right.
We've had several overtime games in this arena this year.
Yeah, matter of fact, the men was involved with a double overtime victory in their last home game here. So right now,
and then if you go back to the first semester, we had an overtime game against the Virgin Islands.
Well, yeah. So now the Tigers, this is definitely crunch time here. But I'm going to say win or lose for the Buccaneers, they really showed some heart here this evening.
Yeah, now speaking with their coach earlier, they're going to Florida for I think 3 or 4 games to close out the season.
And of course, the conference tournament is coming up in about a couple of weeks from now. I think the first week in March.
No, it's actually the
last weekend in February. Yeah, first weekend in March. That'll be the start of the big dance.
Well, the NAIA tournament is usually that second weekend in March.
But of course, the I guess the seedings will happen. That
we'll know the seedings going into that last week of February. Probably next Monday this time we'll know seedings.
All right, tied at 54. We haven't had a bucket from either squad in a little while. Here's Clark as he changes things.
I'm not taking nothing away from that young. He can play.
Matter of fact, he has 22 points on the evening. And we have a traveling violation called against Hector Rosario. Now, that's funny. If this was in the NBA, I think they would have let that one go.
Yeah. In NBA,
it's a different whole beast.
Sometimes we watch a little too much NBA.
Right. 56-54 is our score. Buccaneers on top, trying to go for the steal. Under a minute to go. Steger.
We got to get a stop here. I don't think it's coming out of his hands. It's coming out of his hands.
And it did, and it's a turnover.
Yeah, that's why I thought it wasn't coming out of his hands.
With 39 seconds to go, Willoughby will check back in for the Tigers.
But we're the cardiac kids, Clarence.
Always.
I'm telling you. Another nail biter, man.
Telling you, if you have a weak heart.
I know the crowd wants the 3, but we got to go in. We got to go in for the time.
56-54, 30 seconds remaining.
To the basket. There we go.
Rosario ties it. So Rosario ties the game at 56 apiece. And a quick timeout taken by the Tigers.
It was a women's game. We can advance it.
But you can't. Not in this.
Full 94 feet right now.
Uh-huh. But you look at this now, the Tigers could play that full court defense as well, that pressure defense.
Yes.
Make sure you join us Saturday. That is our next broadcast, as it will be the final home game of the regular season for both the Lady Tigers and the Tigers. Make sure you join us. 2 o'clock is the start time for the ladies. 4 o'clock is the start time for the men. Hopefully that you join us. And looking into the chat room, Rutherford says that he's stressed. Well,
Demetrius, we all been stressed this season. I'm telling you, these guys are the cardiac kids, man. They keep you on the edge of your seat.
Oh, yes, they do. Now, it makes for good streaming.
Yes,
it does make for good streaming.
Coach Huff may look like me before it's all over. Gray and bald.
Well, you're not bald yet.
I'm getting it. 5.
They have almost a 5-second shot clock turned off. Buccaneers. Right now, as far as the Tiger, almost is still there by Ford as he dives to the floor, and it will belong to the Buccaneers with 14 and a half seconds to go.
Their defense, this could be key right here. He got it in. I remember winning the game off an inbound steal. That same situation. 10 seconds.
10 seconds to go.
Okay, it's not coming out of his hands.
It's not coming out of shot clock hands. Win or die. Here it goes, Clark. Counted and one with 0.7 seconds to go. Shaw Clark.
Fans, I said a young man is a player.
He is. 22 points for Nathan Shaw Clark. Playing out of Florida.
Well, transfer from Langston University, Division 2.
Division 2.
Yeah. So he's probably been in some big games.
Now, he may just miss this on purpose because only 0.7 seconds to go.
Yeah, but Clarence, it's not like we can advance it. I mean, 0.2. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, they're getting the clock right. They're getting the clock right.
But it's going to be less than 10 seconds because it was 14 and a half.
I wish we had replay.
Yeah. Okay, well, 3 seconds is a little bit more decent. Oh, now they got down to 1.3 seconds. So now shooting one.
No, you don't.
Shaw Clark.
Well, an intentional miss would have to rattle around a little bit.
There you go. Timeout.
Oh, something should have came off.
Nothing came off. As a matter of fact, the Coach Taylor for the Buccaneers is asking for the now 0.8 seconds to go. So it's 0.8 seconds to go.
Man, it's tough on the smaller level where you don't have replay. You know, we watch, you know, the big games,
Right.
NBA, Division 1,
Right.
and we think everybody has this capability.
No.
Even though we're live streaming it, but it's not a bunch on the table where they can go back and look at things. So you know, this is officiating.
Yeah.
At its best sometimes. So these guys have to be spot on. I'm thinking you can catch and shoot with one.
Yeah, with 1 second you can. But you got to throw a long one. Here goes the long one.
I knew it.
Off of the top of the beam.
Excuse me. But yeah, I'll be it's low, Clarence. It's
Yeah.
low.
You got to really kind of.
It's tough to throw that one.
Yeah.
And he went straight up with it.
So with 0.1 seconds to go, look like the Buccaneers may come out with a surprising victory here. And that will do it. Surprise, surprise, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, it's a teaching moment. You got to keep our heads up. Keep fighting. You got a tournament. You got the postseason. That's the beauty about it. You can bounce back. That's the beauty of basketball.
Yeah. But not only that, the Tigers are guaranteed a spot in the conference tournament. So yes, it does hurt in the conference standings, but overall, the Tigers will make it to the conference tournament. But again, you wish you would go on a conference tournament having kind of a winning streak.
Yeah,
But,
riding the momentum. Yeah.
but now you have to turn your attention. I guess you got to close out the season now, non-conference play, but you got to close out the season strong going into conference tournament wise.
Yes, you do. You got to get back hard again. Go in with that momentum. Can't hang your head down. You know, I tell my girls all the time, you got to have STM, short-term memory. Got to forget about this one. You won't see this team again. You probably won't even see anybody similar to this again in the conference tournament.
Right.
So
Right.
get this one out.
But
as far as Valentine's Day, coach may get guys off, get a chance to clear their heads, come back at it, regroup on Wednesday, and then work on Saturday.
But you,
about the season.
But you know, it does kind of sting. It does sting. I mean, let's not sugarcoat it. It does sting with this loss here because going in, again, on paper, you would think that the Tigers, with the advantage of the numbers and size-wise, you would think that the Tigers would take advantage. But nobody didn't see the Buccaneers coming in, and athletically speaking, they got to the ball. They made their shots.
And they have some athletes.
They have some athletes, yeah.
You got two players averaging 21, 17 a game. You know, that's always something to keep an eye on. But we just got to short-term memory, get over this one and keep it moving.
Yeah, got to keep it moving. But now they have to turn their attention, and they have to get this out of their system.
Yeah. And this is basketball. I think sometimes people forget. Man, this thing, we've seen some games throughout. I know I have coaching and as far as watching games, anything can happen when that ball throws up.
Yeah.
Unless you just physically, outman a team. I'm not taking nothing away from UVI. They had they averaged 21-17.
Mm-hmm.
You're just throwing it in the basket.
Yeah. But again, I mean, just looking at it, VI got to feel proud of themselves because they do the South Carolina sweep. They win at Morris a couple of days ago.
And they're probably coming together. Sometimes when we say he started out with 10, he's down to 6 now. So they're coming together probably at the right time.
Right. But
and he put in a couple of new, keep these guys here, put a couple of new faces on that program. That could be up and rise program.
It can be. All right. Once again, our final score: the Virgin Island Buccaneers 58, the Voorhees University Tigers 56. Stay with us, folks, as we will have the post-game show. And hopefully we'll have a few words from Coach Cabral Huff coming out here to talk about this game here. Once again, I know a lot of Tigers fans are commenting and they are disappointed in the loss here this evening. But, hey, sometimes the basketball does not bounce our way. So we'll be right back. And we'll have the post-game show coming up. 58-56 is our final score. Tigers goes down to defeat to the Buccaneers. You're watching Tiger Basketball on our YouTube page and Facebook Live. Welcome back here to the post-game show as we're live here on the Leonard E. Dawson Center on the campus of Voorhees College. Clarence Jones, along with my guest analyst here, Coach Edward Glover. As right now, I know people are disappointed. The Tigers came in 3-1 in their last 4 ball games, and people thought that with this undermanned team of the Buccaneers only dressing out 6 players here this evening, Tigers fans have expectations, thinking that this could be an easy victory, but not so fast. The Tigers lose here, 58-56, and as we was talking, Coach, off the air, that this Buccaneer team, even though they had dressed out 6 players, but about a handful of them are definitely athletes on that court.
Oh yeah, they have some players. You see a young man averaging 21 points a game, second lead scorer after 17. They can put the ball in the hole. But one thing as coaches, we try not to emphasize the number of players have, because once that ball tips up, you forget about what is on that bench over there.
Right.
We changed our strategy. We started going inside, which was the good. We picked up the pressure defense. Maybe getting down in the first half, but we did fight back. Like I said, we've been cardiac kids to me all season long.
Right.
Some of the games I've been watching them on TV. I'm saying TV, but the live
Streaming, yeah, right.
That's on the road. Mm-hmm. We get here, I'm looking at, we're down, but I know we'll come back, and we usually do. Mm-hmm. On the other night against Washington Venice, I think we cut the lead to 5 and got down to 5 minutes. The live stream has been off. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, I didn't know what the result was until Washington Venice posted. We did fall on that one, but we made a valiant comeback. Same thing here tonight. They had us on cardiac arrest. We got back where we needed, took the lead. We didn't close it out, but that number 4 is a gritty.
Yeah, Nathan Shaw Clark, who ended up being the leading scorer, the overall scorer, with 24 points here this evening. And when you look at it, the 2 leading scorers, Langston and Shaw Clark, they came in and they showed why they are the 2 leading scorers for the Buccaneers, especially Shaw Clark.
And Clark, he made that pass in the corner to his teammate, and he threw it away. He didn't. You didn't know he didn't grab, didn't put down himself, but he came back and went to the basket on the winning play. Mm-hmm. So that he has a little grit and grind about himself.
Yeah.
We have a great chance of winning this conference tournament.
Yeah.
We just got to get it back together, and we will. Coach Huffman and Coach Williams does a good job. They will get the guys refocused. Mm-hmm. Got to close out strong with these last 2 because you want to have that momentum. Mm-hmm. Going all the way out to Lawrence, Kansas, which will be a long ride or a short flight, either one. Mm-hmm. But anyway, we still have to get ready for that mentally. That's what right now mentally everybody is banged up this time of year. I'm pretty sure with the Virgin Islands, with the short roster, they're still banged up. Mm-hmm. They fought through it, and it's like we got to fight through things. But it's that time of year, man. We're going to March Madness, and it's not called March Madness for nothing.
Right, it's not called March Madness for nothing. And of course, the Tigers are good. They're heading to the conference tournament because, as you would know, in the CAC. The top 8 teams gets invited to the conference. So even with that, because of how big the conference is, you have to be invited. You have to finish in the top 8 in order to get to the conference tournament.
Yeah, and it gets critical sometimes with seeding and who gets in because everybody doesn't see everybody. Some teams play more conference games than others. So it can get a little tricky at times. We've been doing this for a little while. One time when the CAC was it's still the Independence, but it was known as the Association of Intercollegiate. Mm-hmm. I'm getting that. It was the AII.
Yeah, a lot of synonyms. Yes,
a lot of association, but still under the realm of the NAIA. And it was the same concept. But at one time, we just had a number of teams that would get in, and everybody would go. But once the conference grew, it made a difference. And then also with the league, the NAIA itself, going from 2 divisions to 1. And that is nothing new. When I played back in the NAIA in the late 80s, I'm telling my age, but we were 1 division. They split the division 2 in the 90s, 1 and 2, and then they just brought it back. And then put the 2 fields together. When it was division 1 and 2, was 32 teams on each division going. So now it's 1 division with 64. Right. So what it did, it had some conference shifting and some movement. Just like with the NCAA, we see that kind of movement, and,
Right.
and you see that here also in the NAIA.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, I'm hearing rumors now of teams moving conferences for this upcoming year next year, as well as moving divisions and teams.
Matter of
up
fact,
and down.
one of these teams is the Virgin
Yeah,
Islands.
the Virgin Islands has
this
plans
is
to move to the Gulf Coast Athletic Conference. So,
right. So I mean, people are moving and shaking, and that's just how it is.
The
in college
NAIA
ball.
is not foreign to it,
Right.
And a lot of times, smaller divisions mimic the big division, the NCAA,
Right.
and they seen how what UCLA and USC
Mhm.
shifting over to the Big Ten, which probably doesn't make any sense geographically.
Yeah.
But that's the way it flows.
Well, you know what? That's money.
Yeah.
That situation that's
It's
money.
big time money.
It's big time money.
Yeah.
But getting back to this ball game, the Tigers. If those of you just joining us, the Tigers go down to defeat to the Virgin Islands by the final score of 58-56. But in this ball game, I was impressed by the Buccaneers, and they showed the heart, and not only that, they played as a team, but especially, and we was talking how in the game of basketball, how one or two players can make the difference between winning and losing. And here tonight, the two players that we speak of here for the Buccaneers has been Nathan Shaw Clark, finished off with 24 points, and then also Jaleel Langston, who had 15 points, so he was about 2 points short of his normal 17 points per game, but still, those two players made a big impact on how this ball game went for the Buccaneers.
And probably over the last few games, they're not looking for good combinations. I mean, he only had 6 players, so he had no choice but to figure out just is the combination.
Right.
Had not, and they stayed out of foul trouble. That was key. And they were able to rotate that one sub. Everybody got a blow.
Right.
Even the best player, Clark.
Right.
He got a few minutes on the bench. So, things happen. That's the beauty of basketball. Yeah. But we'll bounce back. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. And I'm pretty sure coaches in the locker room, making the guys understand what you just went through and not taking anybody for that.
Right.
Not taking anybody for granted.
Right. And then not only that, when you look at it, in college, when you especially these kids are like 17, 18, 19 years old. So when they look at how when they was warming up and you see, hey, this team, there's only 6 players and we have the size advantage and all that stuff. Again, it plays into your head like, hey, I think this might be an easy victory until that ball is tossed in the air.
And but you think they would know better. I'm telling you, these young men have played a lot of amount of basketball, especially with this AAU circuit now and all the basketball they play over the summer. And I know it's AAU teams that sometimes come out there like that and are probably just real good. But as coaches, we emphasize, hey, don't take anybody for granted.
Right.
This is basketball. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
And some lineups are 6 players with 15 on the bench. Sometimes that's a rotation.
Right. And then when you think about it, as far as upsets, there have been a lot of upsets, especially in college sports all the way around, because you have that from time to time. And I would consider this one as an upset, to be honest with you. Can't sugarcoat it. Virgin Islands came in with a 2-14 record, but they came in with a lot of heart. And not only that, as I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, they come in feeling good about themselves because of winning at Morris College back on Saturday. So coming in, they had some type of momentum coming in.
And a team that they play very few home games. Everything is on the road, and they don't play an easy schedule.
Right.
They play a very tough schedule. So they've seen some things.
Yeah.
A lot. So a lot of stuff may not have phased them, but we had an effort. We were able to do some good things. So the pressure defense is there. It was a lead on that. I'm curious to know our shooting percentage tonight.
Right.
That's going to be a stat. I think she's already left the statistics.
And another interesting stat might be the rebounding, because especially in the first half, Buccaneers really limit the second chance points for the Tigers.
And they got a scrappy rebounds as well. A lot of loose balls and things like that in the first half. But we'll rebound. We'll get better.
We'll get better.
And I know Coach Huff will come out here and explain things.
Yeah.
Give a breakdown of what happens. And sometimes as a coach, sometimes you don't see it until you got a chance to sit back, reflect, look at the film, look at some things they have to clean up, get better on.
Yeah.
Quick, fast, in a hurry, because like I say, another week and a half, you'll come for certain.
Yeah, and is right there. So again, the Tigers falls to Virgin Islands by the final score of 58-56. The Tigers now even their record at 12-12. Meanwhile, for the Buccaneers, they come through with 2 victories here in South Carolina, and they'll head back to the Virgin Islands with 3 wins on the season. But this is one of their biggest, I would say, their biggest win of the season coming in. So
Yeah, definitely is.
So what we're going to do now, we were waiting on the coach. I guess we'll take one more break, and if the coach does not come out, we'll wrap things up and make sure to get you set for what's coming up this weekend, as we'll come to the final weekend of the regular season. But before we go, I just want to thank Coach. Thank you so very much for being a guest analyst here once again.
Appreciate having me up here.
Oh yeah, definitely. And of course, we appreciate y'all for, of course, commenting in the Facebook and also YouTube Live. So we're gonna take a quick break, wait on Coach Huff, and if he does not appear, we'll just wrap it up from here. Okay. Final score once again: the Tigers go down to defeat to the Buccaneers of the Virgin Islands. Final score 58-56. We'll take this 1 minute break, and we'll come right back, and we'll wrap things up for the post game show.
When you think about Voorhees University, think efficiency, effectiveness, and innovation. Know that we are even more mission-focused, student-centered, and data-driven. We are serving students better, creating more opportunities for service learning, and making the campus an ideal environment for teaching and learning and campus life. During the spring and summer months, we improved structures and landscaping totaling $3.5 million. We upgraded residence halls, repaired major systems on campus, replaced roofs, and conducted historic preservation work on the oldest building on campus, the Booker T. Washington Building. You can see pole signs that adorn the campus and take the Voorhees presence to downtown Denmark. Perhaps most importantly, students can take advantage of new majors in environmental science, hospitality and tourism management, and emergency management. We have 19 online degrees and a graduate degree in teaching and learning, with 1 concentration in education systems improvement and another in PK-12 education. Yes, we have something for everyone. We are planning facilities that will enhance student life and increase our reach into the community through the Becoming Beloved Community Initiative. Academic excellence and student success, talent acquisition, leverage and leadership, and accountability, stability, and sustainability. It is a great day to be at Voorhees University. We are happy that you are here to move with us to the next level of excellence.
Welcome back to the post-game show as we get ready to wrap things up here from the Dawson Center on the campus of Voorhees University. I'm Clarence Jones. Once again, want to thank our guest analyst, the women's head coach, Edward Glover, for his great analysis of the game here this evening. Of course, a very disappointing loss for the Tigers as they go down to defeat to the Virgin Islands Buccaneers by the final score of 58-56. With that loss, the Tigers dropped to a record of 12-12 overall. And of course, they dropped in conference record as well. But the good thing is the Tigers are clear. They will compete for the conference tournament in the next couple of weeks coming up here. And of course, if things turn out right for the Tigers, then the Tigers, if they can win the conference tournament, then they'll have an automatic bid to the big dance that's coming up down the road So let's cheer on the Tigers. Of course, it's a very disappointing loss, but the Tigers still have a couple of games left in the regular season, and they can come back and rebound off of this loss, and they'll try. I guess I would say the goal here is to finish above 500 before heading into the conference tournament, because once again, if you can head into the conference tournament on a winning streak, you'll feel good about themselves. Just like the Buccaneers feel good about themselves coming into tonight after defeating Morris College back on Saturday, and they played like it here this evening. Once again, you have to give it up to Nathan Shaw Clark. 24 points, and he needed every 24 points here to help his team out with the victory. Also chiming in on the point is 15 points from Langston, the second leading scorer for the Buccaneers. So the top two leading scorers for the Buccaneers, they definitely put on the show tonight, but also defensively speaking, they also surprisingly kind of held the Tigers in check a little bit here this evening. So loss for the Tigers, but of course they can sleep this off and come back and get a couple of victories here coming down the stretch. And matter of fact, we'll have our final broadcast coming up on Saturday as the Lady Tigers and the Tigers will celebrate Senior Day. And we'll have the games for you coming up at 2 o'clock. Will be the Lady Tigers hitting the court. Then at 4 o'clock will be the Tigers taking the court on Senior Day. And of course, we'll have all the pictures and also the description of the game for you here on Saturday. So make sure that you join us this Saturday for our final broadcast of the 2022-2023 basketball season. And I want to take this time to thank all of our students behind the cameras, doing a marvelous job bringing the pictures here for you. And also want to thank all of our Tiger fans for commenting in on our YouTube page and also our Facebook Live. And make sure that you like and subscribe our YouTube page at Voorhees University Athletics. And also make sure that you follow us also on Facebook. And for the latest in Voorhees news, make sure that you join us on Facebook. And we're also on Instagram as well. So look us up, Voorhees University. That'll do it from here. Coach Huff will not be able to join us here this evening. So hopefully we'll get a few comments for him later on in the week. For all of us here, I'm Clarence Jones. Thank you for joining us here this evening. We say good night and also happy Valentine's Day, as tomorrow is Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day to all the lovers out there. That does it here. Thank you so very much for joining us. And until Saturday, you have a great week. So long, everybody.